The only thing I didn't do was cry from disappointment. Let's move on. I have nothing else to say about this book more than the plot was very underwhelming. Now, when you see the cover, you're like, what the hell is that? What is that? Hi, wonderful people, and welcome back to my channel, Book Craves. I am Giselle. How are you going? What's up? What's the scene? Listen, this year has been such a roller coaster. I have read some really good books, and then some were just disappointing. The ones that I weren't anticipating took me by surprise, and then the ones that I really wanted to love disappointed me. It just let me down. So I'm going to share with you 3 books that I loved and those that I thought I would love that disappointed me. So if you are interested, make sure and like this video. If it's your first time here, listen, I talk about romance books and that's it. Name the trope, name the genre. I read it, I love it. If this is something that you love and you share this passion as well, subscribe to my channel. So let's get talking into these books that surprised the heck out of me. Which one do we want to start with? Let's start with the ones that I loved first. So the first book that surprised the heck out of me is called Lifeline, and it is written by Michelle Hood. Now, when you see the cover, you're like, what the hell is that? What is that, Lifeline? The cover is one way, but the story, in the story, we meet Julie and Daniel, and both of them have experience where their parents died, they passed away, and they are both cops. However, Julie is new to the whole cop life, being a forensic psychologist, and then you have Daniel. He is a seasoned officer. He has been undercover, and now he has to show Julie the ropes. They both go on this undercover assignment, and Daniel feels so responsible for Julie. But listen, this book, it is going to build you up and bring you down. It's going to shatter your heart. This one surprised me. I have read other books by Michelle Hood and I loved those books. She normally does the whole bad guy thing. Now she's doing The Boys in Blue. And I was surprised that I loved it. Honestly, you need to read this book. Do not let the cover throw you off, okay? This book, it is an FBI romance. It is an age gap romance. The hero is very dominant and very possessive. This is action-packed and quite emotional. Loved every minute of this book from beginning to end. Another book that surprised the heck out of me was Riley Spiker by Misty Walker. This is my second book that I'm reading by Misty Walker. This is, however, the 4th book in the series, and you don't have to read the previous books in the series to read this one, okay? This is exactly how I like my MC romances. Very intense, and I do like those guys that have no behavior. So we meet Coyote and Riley. They met one night. They shared one intense, passionate night. Coyote wakes up and Riley's nowhere to be found. He knows nothing about this girl, and to top it off, she took his jacket. How can you take a biker's jacket? That is part of their identity. You don't do something like that, but Riley did. In this MC romance, you have like a surprised baby, you have like a second chance romance, you have an enemy to lovers as well, because Riley happens to be part of their rivals, or Coyote's rival, MC. Listen, I really enjoyed this MC romance. And then I listened to Savage Devil by Daniela Romero, and this is part 2 in the Devils of Sun Valley High. It's obviously a high school romance. This is probably the first audiobook that I'm going to be talking about on my channel, because you know I read physical copy books, I read ebooks, I don't do audiobooks, but you know, I'm trying to spread my wings, and so this audiobook was so delicious, y'all. It was so delicious. So in this book, we meet Bibiana and Emilio, and there's a surprise pregnancy taking place. So yes, Bibiana becomes like a teen mom. She never knew who her baby daddy was. She changed schools and whatnot, and there is where she saw Emilio, and he pretended not to know her. And when she really wanted to spill the beans and say, hey yo, you're a teen dad, he pretended not to know her. So she went along with it. She pretended not to know him. This story was so engrossing. It's so thrilling. It is so captivating. It keeps you from beginning to end because you want to know how things are going to play out between Emilio and Bibiana. Really enjoyed this book. These 3 books surprised the heck out of me. Now, these 3 books, they surprised me, but they left me disappointed because I was highly anticipating these books. I spoke about these books in my January anticipated reads. The only thing I didn't do was cry from disappointment. First up is The Summer Proposal by V. Keeland. I was really anticipating this sports romance. We meet Max and Georgia, and basically Georgia was going on a blind date, met Max, they started to talk until she realized that he is not the date. And by that time, she had really gotten into him. They fast forward, she discovers that, you know, he's this hockey player, and they embark on this relationship kind of thing. The only thing is, though, she was actually in a long distance relationship with her fiance that she has been in a relationship with for many years. And he just upped and left and said, hey, yeah, you can do what you want, have an open relationship, whatever. Then when he realizes that she's really into Max, he shows up and wants to pour his heart out. Basically, that's it. There was nothing really exciting about this story besides, like, there's a heartbreaking scene towards the end of this book, and it's like, I know something was wrong with you, but I just didn't know it was that. Based on the blurb, I thought it would be way much better. I thought it would have like way more excitement to it, but yeah, it just left me feeling very underwhelmed. Next up is Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. I was so excited to read this book because the blurb created so much mystery that I'm like, Giselle, you have to read it. So in this book, we meet Memphis and Knox, and Memphis is running away with her newborn, and she goes to a very small town to work in a bed and breakfast. She is from a wealthy family, and they have these resorts. However, she jumps in her car, she goes there, she meets Knox, you know, they start up something, okay. But then, when you discovered why she left, again, I was very disappointed and very underwhelmed. There was no plot twist. There was nothing. I really thought that there would be like some big, mind-blowing, jaw-dropping secret that she ran away from. If you have read the story, comment down below, but I'm not even going to tell you why she ran away. Let's move on. I have nothing else to say about this book more than the plot was very underwhelming. Now, look at the cover for this book. Look at this cover, right? This cover is giving me contemporary romance. I read the book on the night it was released, only to discover that it is a historical romance. This is a forbidden romance, okay? So Lady Sarah, she is engaged to Tristan's brother. Their father died, and so his brother is now the king. Tristan and Lady Sarah, they develop something. Okay, turns out that, you know, his brother killed their dad. But the build-up, it is very slow. There isn't much mystery. There's a slight mini twist, but nothing to talk about. I'm all for a slow burn. But this one here, there's not even a slow burn. Like, I like the plot, but the story was lacking suspense. There was no tension. There was no build-up to anything. I almost DNF. Like, if you actually checked out my review on this book on Goodreads, I almost DNF this book. And normally I don't DNF. It was just really slow, and I think it only picked up at 67%. Most people would DNF by 30-40%. I do enjoy a good historical romance, but this, I didn't like that. Let me know if you enjoyed Juniper's Hill, Scad, or The Summer Proposal. These were really highly anticipated reads for 2022. I didn't like these three, but if you see the first three, Lifeline, yes. Savage Devil, yes. And Riley's Biker, yes. I enjoyed those three books. Did not expect to like them. Loved them. They did excellent. So this brings me to the end of my video. Like this video and make sure and hit that notification bell so you would know when I post a video, and look out until I post another one. Bye.